Is remote work a perfect solution? Let's talk about that and some possible conflicts of interest over some coffee. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Virtual Coffee Chat with Lewis for Think Remote. It's Monday, and today I don't have my usual cup of coffee. I have an espresso. So let me sip my espresso and let's begin. So I want to tell you a story about coffee and tangentially remote work, but we'll get there. Let's start with coffee. Apparently, this is really good for you, right? I just saw a study. That claims that moderate consumption of coffee, let's say 1 to 5 cups a day, five doesn't seem too moderate for me, but what do I know? Anyway, reduces your chance of dying. Basically, yeah, less deaths overall, less deaths from cancer compared to the non-coffee sipping cohort, and apparently not too much of a difference in deaths from heart failure and heart-related problems. But who knows? I don't know, because I was happy just to read the headline, have my favorite beverage of choice be confirmed as good for me, and move on happy with my day. And this is a problem, right? This is a problem because we tend to look at the stuff that confirms our worldview and not at the stuff that challenges it, right? Usually, I see an article like that. I dive into the article, I get the study, I look at the study, I look at the percentages, and I check the maths. But because I love coffee so much and it's so much of a part of my day, I didn't do any of that. I was completely irresponsible. And if you love remote work, if you like doing remote work, chances are you've been irresponsible in the past as well. Sorry to say. Now, this is where I need to do a full disclosure stuff. Think Remote is a news website, but Think Remote is also funded by Distant Job. Distant Job is an amazing, because I have to say that because I do work there as well, recruitment company that recruits exclusively remotely. They work with clients from all over the world to find people to staff them with. Now, obviously, Distant Job has a huge gain in disseminating remote work, right? And Think Remote is funded by them. But why is that, right? I could just have done this as part of Distant Job. We could have just started publishing remote work related news as part of the Distant Job blog that had a considerable following. I have a show that I love doing there, the Distant Job podcast, where I interview top leaders in remote. So why create a separate website? And that's the reason, because there are things that are more apt to discuss in Distant Job, the business side of things, but I also wanted to have a platform to discuss remote work for everyone. And as a news website, right, it's hard to publish news as Distant Job, but as Think Remote, we can publish news. Now, will you say, well, will you publish news that aren't so good for remote work, and as such, will reduce the pool of business that Distant Job can do? And the answer is yes, because well, the proof is in the pudding. But for starters, and to their amazing credit, the top brass at Distant Job never ever tried to mandate the direction that the discourse on Think Remote should have. So that's a plus. But the proof is in the pudding. You can see on these coffee chats that I have analyzed and been skeptical of studies done that were very positive about remote work. Because at the end of the day, I believe that the news websites should bring you the truth. And I believe that in the long run, because I do believe in remote work, the website is called Think Remote, after all, right? The website that me and my team built is called Think Remote, and it's about remote work. So obviously we believe in it, but I also believe that long term, it's better to always say the truth, right? Because whatever the negatives in remote work, and there are plenty, they will be far surpassed by the benefits. That's what I believe. But I want you to get the whole thing, not just the bright side of things, right? So that said, that full disclosure made, I want you to think about all the remote work related news and studies that you've been seeing lately, right? I wanted to look what's behind that study, right? One of the most popular studies has been published by a company contracted by LogMeIn. Well, LogMeIn obviously as a huge benefit for people adopting remote work. Same could be said for Microsoft, which published one of the largest studies as well. But I don't want people also to be conspiracy theorists, right? And to say, oh, if the money behind this is tied to remote, then obviously it's not good. No, do the hard work, right? That's what I advise. Look at the studies, read the studies, right? Obviously, look for some expert help, some expert info. If you trust Think Remote, I'm honored, and I hope you'll trust our analysis, but dive in yourself, right? Have a look at it. That's the best thing. I have no doubt that Microsoft did some very high quality statistical analysis, right? Is it biased? You're probably the best judge. You're probably the best judge of that, right? So I'm still not going to look at the coffee study. I don't want to change. But when it comes to remote work, don't let people tell you what to think, right? Analyze, because there's also the point that remote work is not created equal, right? Remote work is a broad umbrella, and then there's a lot of work arrangements, professional arrangements that can be made under the umbrella of remote work. So maybe your business will fit into one of those. Maybe you as an employee will fit better in some arrangements than other arrangements. It's worthwhile checking stuff out. Always look what's behind the studies, but more than that, always look if the things make sense, right? Always read the studies, read the news, see if they make sense. Think about that instead of just skimming the headlines as I just did before going on with my with my morning and getting my espresso thing on. Anyway, this was Virtual Coffee Chat with Lewis for Think Remote. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoy these chats, please like, share, and subscribe. Go to Think Remote. We're giving you some nice gifts for subscribing there. Well, so that's thinkremote.com. Subscribe to the mailing list there, and get one email a week showcasing what we're up to. And that's it. Have a great Monday. See you tomorrow.